Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to cryptomentals.com. Kevin here, and back with another video to talk about Solcasino today. Been cranking out a few videos since I started this project a couple days ago, and most of which are going to revolve, well, for the meantime, at least, are going to revolve around a couple areas. I got cryptomentals.com up on the screen here, and all the posts will be organized here. And they're also on YouTube, where you're probably watching this now. And I'd appreciate if you like what you're hearing, throw me a subscribe so I can build that channel out. But for the most part, in the meantime, these videos are going to revolve mostly around what I'm calling the serotonin investment plan. It's the long-term crypto cycle plan that I'm going to walk everybody through here as we put in the next altcoin bottom, which I think is coming here in the next few months. And you'll see that even in Solcasino here that I'm going to talk about in a moment. And so, yeah, that's most of these videos will be around that, and also just individual coin breakdowns for that plan. So like today, we'll talk about Solcasino. Yesterday, I talked about DSO. I think both of these are good candidates for that plan. And before I jump into it, I just want to mention Diamond app again. And that's Diamond is the X clone on DSO. So it's like a decentralized Twitter, and if you go to dso.com and set up a wallet and then find CryptoMentals on Diamond and give me a follow, I'll send you a CoinMentals NFT, which, this is Diamond here. And this is one I sent out earlier today. So I'm making these CoinMentals. They're just sort of like the first NFT for CryptoMentals. And if you follow CryptoMentals on Diamond, I'll send you one. Just fun way to try to get people to test out this network. It seems to work really well. I love, personally, it fits into the model of CryptoMentals. We want to be as crypto native as possible. I want to keep things on chain if I can, and not really give I don't like the idea of giving my social media profile and data to these big, big corporate data, centralized data centers. So I'd rather own my own profile. And the cool thing about DSO is you can do that. And if it's what I'm trying to do here, so I love it. So I'll be posting a lot here. I am on Twitter, but I'd rather focus my energy here, to be honest. Anyway, let's jump into Solcasino. Now, Solcasino, I'm going to get right into the chart first, because at the end of the day, like, the fundamentals look pretty good to me for this. And at the end of the day, regardless of how much I like the fundamentals of a coin, I absolutely won't buy a coin that doesn't have technical reasons as well. And so, of course, if you watch the videos from the last couple of days, I talked a lot about just, trade location and then market structure weekly W to call an altcoin bottom. So I'm sticking to those, even if I really, like, there's things like, names that I'd like to buy that are still locations not good, and I'm not going to buy them at bad location just because I like the name. Cool thing is I like Solcasino, but I also love the location. So I'll jump right into that. For starters. So, anyway, Fibonacci's, I drew the Fibonacci retracement off of the October 23 lows and up to the recent high. That's the trading range for this cycle so far. I think there's a nice wide W bottom back here, actually, from when this thing first started. Nice wide bottom. That's really nice to see. And of course, you see what happened on the other side of that. Both a huge pump, then a retest of that bottom, and then banging around, and it took off again. And I actually got interested, and I bought this name here. So I did take advantage of this most recent run up, which was quite a move. But nonetheless, now we've made our way all the way back down. And I talked a lot yesterday and the day before about, 78.6 to 88.6 deep C location. And this is sitting right in that box. So 78.6 is here and 88.6 here. So that means this thing's come off, 80 to 90% really. And then now it's just banging around in that zone. So that means trade location is acceptable. And then unlike most coins in the altcoin market, there's actually a weekly W working here. Now, it's not like a long, drawn-out, wide one that I'm looking for, but without a doubt, there's a little weekly W here that came in and actually broke out and confirmed last week. So that's promising, but it's not like a wide, rounded-out bottom. And then you can see how this week they're just knocking it right back down. So, to me, I like the idea that weekly W is there, and I think taking a shot is totally fine. It's just, I did take some nibbles here, and I'm okay with that. But honestly, I think this thing's probably going to explore lower. And as much as I like the fact there is a W, that's kind of like a warning sign that it's starting to try to turn. But the reality is most of the altcoin market's still trending down, and this thing could easily just get, take a new low here. We really want to see a bottom that's more rounded out and longer, and it'll probably take a few months. So this thing's actually trying to turn earlier than the rest of the market. And because of that, I think it's likely it'll explore lower. And truthfully, it could come off 50, 60 more percent because there's this tail sitting here, and I could easily see price coming down and eating that tail at some point. So just know that, like, I like this name a lot, but I think lower is still, just like all these, I think we're, like I said, the last 2 days, we're kind of early. We're a little early, so it's the time to start hunting. That's why I'm making this video today. So, because I think we're starting to look very nice, and taking some small nibbles seems okay, but just know that it very well might have to go lower. And there's just not a lot of volume trading, by the way, anyway. It's sort of sluggish at the moment. People are running out are losing their interest. However, the casino itself seems to be doing really well. So now I'll just talk about a few fundamental things. Technically, the chart's looking pretty good. Still waiting on a bottom, but sure like it. Fundamentally, I like it too, man. And I mean, move over to CoinGecko really quick and just, well, first off, so Solcasino has been around since like December 2021. It's the first casino on Solana, and I think it's the largest casino on Solana. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I think it is. Either way, it typically shows up in the top 20 of DappRadar's most used apps on Solana. Like today, it's sitting at 19, and I've seen it higher. When I first started watching it, it was like 5 or 6. It was much higher. So it's still in the top 19 on Solana, and that in itself is very positive, I'd say, because Solana is going to have a huge impact on this cycle, and it already is. And the fact that this is working on Solana, I think, is great. That's a good reason to be interested in this name on its own. It is the big, the one of the biggest, if not the biggest, casino on Solana. So that's a nice reason. Secondly, just think how big the online casino industry is, and how much money's floating around pointed towards gambling on the internet. So I think there's a ton of upside just in the industry. And then if you start, a use case of a blockchain to have a casino on chain seems like a no-brainer use case and bound to happen. And truthfully, a blockchain-based casino is just a lot better than trusting some centralized casino that's basically just cheating on the games. If you can go and read the documents for Solcasino and learn about their fairness practice, and it's simply more fair because there's more transparency in the gaming. So that's a benefit too. So I mean, all those things are pointing in the right direction for a positive outlook on online gaming on Solana chain, I'd say. But then you go look at the market cap of Solcasino, and man, this thing's only got 21 million market cap, so it's pretty low. Especially when you compare it to Rollbit, which is a blockchain-based casino that's much larger. Solcasino is at number 1,000 about. It's like 996 market cap, and Rollbit's 259. You can see Rollbit's 209 million, so already 10x almost of, or basically 10x exactly, in size. And that's sitting here. Rollbit was up here back in the end of 2023. So, Rollbit's come off like at least 50, 60%, and it's still got 200 million market cap. So, there's a lot of room for higher prices for this Solcasino. So it's kind of like that's the bet. Can I buy it cheap? How cheap can I buy it? And then can I just sit on that position until the broader market turns back up? I mean, this is a weekly chart. Hell, on Dex Screener, I hardly ever even look at weekly charts because most of them don't even have that much data. So here, I mean, this is like an established name. It's come down against the range, and I mean, hell, just for fun, we could draw a trend line off these highs, and just for fun and get excited about how high it can go. We could draw a trend line here. And honestly, I don't think that's actually unreasonable to say, like, end of 2025. I was saying, the peak euphoric time is probably going to be around here somewhere, end of 2025. Could this thing be 07 cents up from, like, say you buy it around 005? That seems like a nice trade. So, seems like a pretty good deal. I think, anyway, point being, so 21 million small market cap. So that's a huge plus for this. Being on Solana is a huge plus for it. And then I messed around on here. There's a lot of I mean, it seemed, a lot of traditional casino games, sports betting. It's not really low. Okay, here we go. That's my wallet. I'd put a small deposit on there and played some like coin flip games and stuff, and everything seems to be working. And I got airdropped some like fake stable coin, a couple bucks for putting some money on it. I know there's ways to earn rewards, and like there's a rake back, so all your bets are paying like a rake back in SCS to you. And so, yeah, it functions like a normal casino, and it seems pretty cool. I'm not a huge gambler, so I didn't spend tons of time. There are some sort of NFTs that you can stake. You can stake Solcasino or SCS token, and you can see I just have like $30 in Sol on here. I took some bets and didn't really win anything. But point being, it seems to be fully functional and works pretty well. You can deposit look at all the coins they support. I mean, you can basically deposit everything. So I guess I guess it must have a bridge, some sort of bridge functionality. If you can throw like BTC and stuff on there. Is BTC on here? Yeah, Bitcoin, Ethereum. Maybe they use Wormhole here. They have W. But nonetheless, lots of different options for deposit. Seems to be good. I don't know. I'm not going to go too far more into it than that. It seems to work, and it seems like people are using it. And man, there's a lot of upside. And so as soon as this bottom truly comes in, zoomed out here, you can kind of see how this could turn out to be a fake out pretty easily. And we come and fill this blue line. So like I'll be hunting lower. But man, very promising. Let's see. Do I want to say anything else about Solcasino here? I didn't mention so they did start with a 10 billion supply, and they did burn 3 billion. So now there's actually a 7 billion supply, and about half the tokens are in circulation. And it doesn't seem like, the team and stuff, they don't have as much, they don't really have that many coins. There's 2 wallets that have a huge supply in them, and I think those are basically Solcasino for the payouts and stuff. And I suppose like in my gut, like when I think about the one issue I see about the tokenomics is that like, well, is there a lot of selling pressure on this coin because people are just getting it in rewards, and there's just gamblers that are earning it and they're just going to come and dump it on the market? It seems like that would be an issue of sorts. I still think in a strong market, like I still think this, I mean, just based on the past price history, I could easily see how this thing could get ripped up though. So, or go into a full on bull. But that is one concern, is that it's just sort of like a reward token that just gets like dumped every time people get it. But we'll see what happens. I'll be watching it and following along, waiting for that nice solid bottom to come in. And when it does, I hope to be loaded up on it. Cool. So I'll leave it at that. Let's see. Last thing I'll say is it doesn't really trade on centralized exchanges. It's basically just trading on chain right now. I didn't really notice any like major exchanges here. If you look at it, yeah, it's just a Meteora pool and Orca pool. So it actually isn't on any centralized exchanges, which I think is a good thing. Because then at least later it'll be probably bigger market cap coin down the road if they do get listed anywhere substantial. So this is sort of like a get in, still relatively early punt, and I think it would pay off large if they can just kind of keep in the game. So I'll leave it there today. And I don't know what coin I'm going to do next. I'm just sort of going through the ones I'm interested in. Next video, I do want to make another video pretty soon here that's going to basically just start laying out the plan, like actually the written plan for this investment plan and how I go about doing that, what that looks like. And to be honest, it's nothing crazy or complicated. In fact, I try to keep it as simple as possible. And I just want to show that. And of course, I do highly recommend everybody have, if you're new to this, or even if you're not new, it doesn't matter. I mean, I highly recommend everybody is working from a plan. And like when it comes to this long-term investment stuff, like if you don't have a clear plan for entries and exits, you're just going to end up making dumb decisions later or doing things that you regret. It's much better off and that'll be the point of some of these videos, is just to show you how simple it is to just create a small investment plan, like a simple investment plan, and just make sure you follow it. And it does have entry criteria and also exit criteria, so you're not like round tripping stuff, which is very common in crypto, where people make a bunch of money on the run ups, but get too greedy and never quite take any profit. And then next, like the things come all the way back down. So highly recommend getting your own trading plan together. I'm certainly not going to tell everybody exactly what to buy, or I'm not interested in any of that. I want to demonstrate the plans process and also pick. I mean, I'm doing this to pick the names for myself too. Don't get me wrong. And I think there's going to be some great ideas coming out of this, especially if people give me feedback and start asking me to, or just continue really asking me to look at certain things. And, hopefully I'm going to rely on some other people commenting on stuff that gives me ideas. But I'm not going to sit here. I'm certainly not going to just do it for you. You got to, you're going to have to make these decisions for yourself. And if I can be helpful to you to like sort of show you how the structure works, then that's probably the best help I could offer anybody. So anyway, I'll leave it at that. I'll keep at it. Thanks for all the support, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.